Hello Chastitopians, and welcome to my labor and delivery vlog. Fun fact, did you know I like filming with stuff in my hands? I don't know, like holding a mug just makes me feel like I have something to do with my hands while I'm filming and not just like sit here with my hands in my lap or like throw them up in the air. I feel like I'm doing something productive with my hands by holding a mug. So okay, so the majority of my labor and delivery vlog is already filmed, edited, and ready to go, but I wanted to come here and make a couple of asides for you guys as you watch through the video because I wasn't able to film some parts and I wanted to fill in some of the gaps and give you more information about some parts. So I thought it'd be best for me to do kind of like a commentary kind of thing in between clips, just so you guys are like knowing what's going on. You're not like, oh my god, like what is she talking about, like how do we skip 3-4 hours of footage? But it's because, you know, I was going through a lot. We didn't film everything. We didn't get to film the delivery part, which is okay because we ended up just enjoying the moment and being there, present mentally, physically, emotionally when our beautiful baby girl was born. And I think that was just such a blessing, such a beautiful time, and I'm just glad that we decided to live in the moment instead of, you know, worrying about getting it on camera. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel down below. I love you guys so much. I'm so happy to be back, and hopefully I'm going to be pumping out content for you guys because it's been a long time and it's time to get back to work. Okay, so first I think I kind of want to start with a disclaimer kind of thing because labor and delivery is such a triggering topic. It's a topic that is different for everyone. Not everyone has the same experience. I just want to say my experience was fantastic, beautiful, just spectacular. And you know, I'm sorry that there's mamas out there that don't get to experience a beautiful, warm, welcoming childbirth experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in the sense that it's your first baby. When you're a first-time mom, like you want your experience to go great, and if it doesn't, it's just really like gonna bum you out and like suck because you don't have a great labor story to tell. So I just want to put a disclaimer out there that this is my personal story. This is what I went through, my husband went through with our baby, and how we had a beautiful outcome. If you're a first-time mama out there watching this, I hope that it brings you some peace and comfort and just, you know, a little bit more about what to expect when going into the hospital to have your baby. If you choose that route, that was my birth plan, to birth my baby in a hospital with an OB, doctors, nurses, everyone present. I wanted a medicated childbirth, and that was just my personal birth plan. But if that's not the route you're going, definitely find a video that's not this one probably. I mean, you can definitely enjoy my experience with me, but if you're not going that route, maybe find a different type of video that would cater to you better. But if you are planning on going the medicated route and having your baby in a hospital the traditional way, I guess, whatever that means, this is the video for you. Hello Chastitopians, and welcome back to my channel. I'm in the car with Chris, and today is what, April? I lost count of days at this point. What's today?
25th?
I think it's like the 25th. So yeah, it's April 25th, 2022, and our girl is 5 days late, but it's okay because it's been a crazy morning and now we're on our way to the hospital to have a baby. Basically, over the weekend, I feel like the baby's been moving less, and I was concerned, so I called my doctor. Initially, he told me to just drink some orange juice, and apparently he told me to call him back, but I didn't hear that part, so I didn't call him back to let him know. So they told me to come in today, just so they could check her out and make sure everything was good. So they put me on the fetal monitor, they checked her heartbeat, and everything's good. They just said basically she's getting too big, she's running out of space, and she needs to get out of here. So we're on the way to the hospital to hopefully get induced, and hopefully we're gonna have a baby tonight or tomorrow. Chris is scared, but he'll be okay. I came home and he was like washing dishes, so I don't know what that means, his coping mechanism or what, but
I just don't want to come home and dirty dishes.
I know. Well, I wasn't expecting to have a baby today. She's on her own freaking schedule. It's crazy how we've been cleaning, and now this apartment's not clean. Anyways, welcome to my labor vlog. I guess it's a much more peaceful ride than Chris was anticipating, so that's a good thing. He thought I was gonna be screaming at him, "Go! Ah!" But no. So I'll update you guys when I have some more to say. Okay, so you guys just saw the clips of us going to the hospital, and that was in itself like a whole different experience than what most people go through because I wasn't in active labor. My water didn't break on its own, and we were just kind of chilling in the car on the way to the hospital. That can be totally different for some of you guys who have not had to go through the process of induction, which I had no problem with it. I was pushing 41 weeks and I was tired, and baby needed to come. She was weighing at 8 pounds and I was just ready to go ahead and get her out. So we chose the induction route, and like I said, the ride to the hospital was so peaceful. We got there, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the admissions process when we got to the hospital. So the particular hospital that we chose to have our baby at was only allowing one visitor at the time, which was so heartbreaking because I wish my mama could have been there with me. But of course I wanted Chris to be there to experience this with me because, number one, we are high school sweethearts. This is something we talked about forever and ever and ever. Like when we have our own family, we have a baby and stuff like this. So it's like a dream come true unfolding in front of our eyes. And number two, because he's Merridith's father, you know, he needs to be there. He's my husband, he's my partner for life, my support, and he needed to be that person. As much as I wanted my mama to be there, Chris was the person that ended up going with me. When we got there, they gave us these wristbands, and Chris's wristband was so he can get in and out. Obviously, I wasn't going to be going anywhere for a couple days, but Chris wanted, if he wanted to go in and out to the car or to get food or wherever he wanted to go and come back, he was able to do so with that wristband. I checked in. It took maybe like 15 minutes to fill out the paperwork. They just needed information for baby's Medicaid, for her insurance, for when she's born, so that her stay would be covered and her medications and vaccines and doctor checkups would all be covered. And then they needed my information so that my stuff would be covered by my insurance company. And they needed her name for when she was born so they could put it on her wristband or her anklet, because they put it on her ankle, I believe. They just need all that information. It took about 15 minutes to fill it out. Like I said, I wasn't in active labor, so I was able to fill out the paperwork myself, register me, and get us inside the maternity, or not, yeah, the labor and delivery wing of the hospital. Everyone was super nice. The nurse told me that it could be up to an hour wait. We didn't really have a long wait time. It may have been about 30 minutes. There were about 3 or 4 other pregnant women there ahead of me that were having babies as well, and it seemed like they were getting induced too because they weren't going through too many labor pains that I noticed. It might have just been early on for them, but we were all there to be induced, so we had all checked in, and finally they were like, Merridith, I'm not Merridith, Sanders, that's my last name. So they called me and I went back and we got in our room, and that's where the next part of my video picks up. Hi guys, say hi Chris. We're in the hospital. I just got checked in, put in a room. I just put this cute guy on, looking stylish. I'm just waiting for the nurse to come in. She's gonna hook me up to the monitor and stuff so we can get this show on the road. I'm whispering because I'm very nervous. Here's a little room tour. There's the monitor that I'm gonna be hooked to, and the little board, and more stuff. The TV, the baby warmer right over there, the big old clock that Chris pointed out. Here's Chris in his, I guess, sleeping place. Looking like freaking Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, and this little nook back there. But yeah, it's the room. Okay, so in between the time that Chris went to get our stuff and the time they did my IV, I took it upon myself to ask the nurse a few questions just so I could know my territories and boundaries while I was staying at the hospital that we were at. I went ahead and asked about the filming policies and what I could film, what I couldn't. She went ahead and told me that I couldn't film the actual delivery of my baby, which was kind of heartbreaking because I wanted that part, but at the same time I was kind of relieved because the pressure wasn't on to make sure the camera's on, is it in the right place, are we getting the right angles, and I'm sitting here trying to have a baby, and it could have been really stressful because sometimes Chris doesn't always specify the way that I do. I like a lot of specifications, perfect angles, all that kind of stuff, so it would have been hard for me to direct him and have a baby at the same time. So I was kind of relieved that I didn't have to stress about it at that moment. But it was also heartbreaking because it's something I wanted to remember and have for myself, not even to post here, but just to have for myself for the future, to look back and say, oh my gosh, that was such a beautiful moment. And maybe things will change with my second or third or however many babies we have, but I feel like it was important to be in that moment anyways. Hey guys, Chris went to get our stuff, and he's back now.
Behold.
Stuff.
Our stuff.
They said I can't film during the actual delivery, but that's okay. I'm gonna give y'all whatever I can. Hi guys. I got my IV. The worst freaking part ever. I was so scared. Like my blood pressure was literally so elevated because I was so scared to get the needle. But it's in and I'm okay. And I'm trying to go to sleep because I'm tired. They actually already induced me. What they use, Servidel. They put it in and they said it could take up to 12 hours. So but I'm kind of feeling stuff down there, so I don't know. We'll see. Goofy. Yeah, I'm just laying here waiting for everything to start. So yeah, it's like 8:32, and yeah, I'll give you guys an update soon. With my IV, they went ahead and started me on a saline drip just to keep me hydrated, keep me good. I was eating a lot of ice at the hospital. You guys know, I think I said in my other video that I was eating Quick Trip ice like a maniac. It's that crushed ice. It's so good. But I was eating a lot of ice and stuff, trying to stay hydrated, but they started me on a saline drip, and then they went ahead and what else did they start me on? I think it was just a saline drip for the beginning because they didn't start the pitocin until after they tried the first medication that they used to induce me. Hey you guys, I'm still here. I'm laying on my other side now. Yeah, she said she likes this side better. They couldn't get the monitor to stay on my belly, but they're working on it, and she seems to be doing better on this side. So she already said I'm not gonna be sleeping tonight because my baby's stubborn. So wish me luck with that. They brought me some ice. Super happy about that. Super stoked because I love ice. Chris is eating Oreos. Love it. And we're still chilling. It's 10:02 and we're waiting for some strong contractions to get things going. We'll let you know. So the medication that they used to induce me first was called Servidil, and it's inserted like a tampon basically. It's supposed to ripen your cervix and get that soft so that it can start to dilate and that your baby can start to, you know, be able to come out. Here's the funny thing before we get to the part where I start talking about contractions. I did not know what to expect as far as contractions because I never have period cramps, never have issues with my menstrual cycle, so I did not even know what to expect those to feel like those strong contractions of the uterus. And when they started, it was like, oh yeah, this is definitely like amplified cramps, because I know what cramps feel like, but like I hadn't really had a whole lot of experience of having period cramps specifically, so I wasn't even sure what to expect. But when it started happening, I knew. And then on the monitor, Chris looked it up and we were able to look and see when my my little line was going and it would go up every time I had like a really strong contraction. Okay, I'm starting to have contractions now, I believe, and they're looking like they're spiking. I don't know how to read a monitor, but Chris is a genius, so he's Googling it to figure it out. They look like that purple line at the bottom, so definitely spiking. I'm almost done eating my ice. It's like 10:41. It's starting to hurt. So I don't know how long I'm gonna go without the epidural, but whenever they say I can, I'm gonna get it. So there was a period in between here where I didn't film from like 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning the next day. And it's probably because I was going through it, like Chris is about to tell you. And I needed him to take over the filming because it was really painful, and I was having to hold on to the side of the bed and brace myself every time I was having a contraction. They were starting to get closer together, and I was really just trying to hold out as long as I could because they were kind of being weird about getting the anesthesiologist in to give me the epidural, but they did eventually because I was like, it's time, I need it. Like, this is my plan, medicated, don't want to go natural, like, please bring on the needle. And I'm not a needles person, but those contractions hurt so bad. So I'm really glad that they finally did get in and give me the epidural, but that's a whole nother experience. Wait till you get to that part of the video. But yeah, I think we skipped a big chunk because I was like having contractions. I couldn't go to sleep. Chris might have taken a little bit of a nap, and I couldn't get him to film. So then he picked up the camera and kind of updated you guys around 3 a.m. the next day, which was Tuesday morning.
Well, it's 3:07. Chastity is well, it's going through it, but you know, it's a good thing. Not a good thing, but it's a good sign. So yeah. Oh, yep. Look at her. Look at the IV. Ooh.
Stop.
Ooh. She held on to the rail. But yeah.
A lot.
She's gonna 308. So what have they done? Let's see. They
had that little scare around like 11.
Yeah. Around 11, they couldn't detect her heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything's fine. They got everything under control. They pulled out the induction medication. What's it called? Servicil. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
One of them.
They pulled it out. They said my contractions were too close or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm having one right now.
She's having one right now. I'm gonna show my hand. Come on.
It's a lot.
Oh, that hurts. Strong self.
But the baby's okay.
Yeah, it is. Thank goodness.
I can get an epidural soon.
Girl, my hand. I'm losing circulation.
They hurt.
I didn't realize she was this wrong. I thought she was weird to me. No, it's I guess that's mama strength. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
See you guys in a few hours. What actually happened, which I kind of explained in the video a little bit. I don't know why I didn't say more about it. I kind of like said it like it was nonchalant, but I guess it was just all the stuff going on. What happened was the Cervidil stressed out the baby instead of doing its job. It made her heart rate drop, and all these nurses and people rushed in at about like midnight or so. I know it was the middle of the night because I was trying to sleep, and everybody started rushing in. And already my monitor was kind of falling off my belly because they're not really the most, you know, stable monitors. They're just there and they gotta slide up and down. And so like they were coming in anyways more frequently just to make sure the monitor stayed on my belly so they could monitor me. But her heart rate dropped a lot and she was in distress, so they pulled the Cervidil out before the 12 hours, and that's when they went ahead and started the pitocin. Hey you guys, it's 7 in the morning and I'm exhausted. So I didn't sleep because my contractions were so bad. And they weren't even that bad yet, apparently, but yeah. Chris is currently over there, sleeping, and I'm watching Peppa because I can't sleep because my contractions suck. So that's what's going on. Haven't heard from the nurse recently, but yeah, like I said, we had a little scare around like midnight, but everything's fine. Baby's on the monitor, I'm on the monitor, contractions are good. So I continue to be patient and wait and see what's next for me. Hopefully I have a baby by the end of today. I don't know why I can't speak. See you guys soon. Okay, so like I said, the baby went into distress about midnight or so. They took the Cervidil out, let me rest for a while, and then about 9 o'clock the next day, in the morning, they started me on pitocin. Pitocin is the common labor induction drug. If pitocin doesn't work, you're probably looking at a C-section because there's no other options after that. And a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about pitocin. My experience was great. They started me on the pitocin and I was on it for a while. It didn't screw up my contractions. It didn't screw up my dilation. It all still happened in good increments, not too fast, not too slow, just right for me to get to the point where I was 3 to 4 centimeters dilated and I could finally get the epidural. Hey you guys, it's about to be 9:30 and I'm so out of it. Like, I haven't slept at all. I'm so tired. Chris slept really well. He snored all night. Cutie pie.
Yep, felt good. Felt great.
They just started me on pitocin because the Merridith didn't work. It too stressed the baby. So they started me on pitocin this morning and penicillin and something else, just so I can get the epidural whenever, and I'm really leaning towards it because I don't really want to feel anything else. I've had enough. The pitocin's supposed to kick in and help my contractions move along, and if it doesn't, or if it distresses the baby too much, we're gonna move on to the C-section option, which I'm hoping pitocin can work so that I don't have to do that, because I really don't want to, but whatever's safest for baby, that's fine. So yeah, that's where we are. I will let you guys know what happens. So the pitocin, like I said, got me to about 3-4 centimeters dilated, which is great progress considering I was 41 weeks and not dilated at all. The pitocin started getting it to open up, and so it was starting to progress, and I was starting to be in labor, and so I needed my epidural because it was starting to hurt. But they couldn't just, you know, snappy call the anesthesiologist in to do the epidural. So in the meantime, they gave me fentanyl intravenously, and that stuff was amazing. I was so relaxed when they gave that to me, and it really helped in between the time that I was having really bad contractions and the time I was able to get the epidural. So that's what you're about to see in this next scene, and like, it's totally embarrassing, but I want to leave it in there because it's kind of really funny, and it's just a moment where it's like, it was a really fun time of the delivery when I was totally loopy, totally out of it, and now you guys get to see it. Hey vlog, I got the good stuff, you guys. I feel awesome.
So they gave her the good stuff. She is fentanyl, yeah, that one. So she's definitely feeling great. She's having contractions, obviously, but she says they're not as bad as they used to be.
No, because the drug they just gave me made it feel better.
Yeah, the drug they gave her made her feel better. So yeah, it's about 10:30. So yeah.
Hi vlog, it's me. It's now 2:32 p.m. on the 26th, and my cervix is dilated 3 centimeters. So I'm getting excited and getting very hopeful that she's coming soon. Are you ready for your baby?
Are you ready to push the baby?
Yeah. When I get my epidural. Yeah. I'm gonna get my epidural and I'm gonna get this baby out of here. Chris is such a great partner. Can't imagine doing this with anybody else. He's so awesome.
I owe you a steak dinner and some crab legs.
That's why I love you.
And some tequila.
So yeah, we're 3 centimeters and we're just waiting for the rest of this medicine to wear off so I can get the epidural and progress forward continuously. It's getting exciting around here. Okay, so that last clip was around 2:30 p.m. and the next clip was around 4:30 p.m. So it was about a 2-hour window before they actually got into me the epidural, but they kept giving me rounds of fentanyl to suffice me in between. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a trigger warning for this next part of the video because my epidural experience was not a good one. It ended up being good, but it started out really bad, really scary. I was in tears, sobbing. Chris he did not know what to do with himself. He did not know what to do with me. It was just a really emotional moment for both of us because I don't want to say she didn't know what she was doing. They were bragging about this anesthesiologist and how she was great and she would get it and it would be perfect and it would be done. If you know me, you know I don't do needles. So me asking for an epidural was a big step. It was a big leap of faith. You know, I have faith in this anesthesiologist to do her job, get it done. And I've seen videos, I watched plenty of labor vlogs of people doing the epidural and it didn't seem all that bad at all. Man, my experience was so far from good. Like I said, it ended up good, but it started so bad and we didn't film that part again because it was just so overwhelming, emotional, and new to both of us. Like, it's nothing that either one of us saw coming. So let me just explain a little bit. The lady came in to do the epidural. She brought a little tray and everything, got set up, and then I sat up on the bed, sat up on the edge of the bed and leaned over, kind of like hunched. I know you guys can't see my body, but I was hunched over, shoulders way forward, leaning, poking my back out, basically. There was a pillow here for me to hold on to. My belly was there, my boobs were there. It was just a lot to be leaning over. I could barely breathe, and she's like pushing me down, pushing me out. The nurse is sitting in front of me, pushing me down. Chris is holding my hand, and she cannot get this needle into my epidural slot. So she's trying. She's poked me like 15 times. I was gonna say 10, but it was more like 15. You can still see the spots on my back where she's poked me, and it's like, you know, it's healed over now, but you can still see like how many times she poked me in my back. And I'll try to insert a couple of pictures here so you guys can see how bad it really was. It was just really terrible the first time when she was trying to do it, and it went on and on for what seemed like forever, and I just wanted it to be over at that point. I'm like, whatever. So finally she was like, just take a break, I'm gonna call in someone else to see if they can get it, because she just couldn't find it. It was really scary in that in-between time, because I didn't know if I was gonna be able to get the epidural, and I did not have any intention of feeling anything like while I was giving birth. Like, I did not want to go natural, I mean vaginal, yes, but not like, I don't want to feel anything because I'm not a pain person. So for the plan to be deviating from what I had, you know, wanted, it was really scary. And I called my mom in the between time, and you know, I got her kind of scared and stressed out too, because she's like, oh my god, you might have to do this without the epidural. Like, I know it's possible, but like for me, I just didn't want to do it that way. I wanted a medicated birth, and it was just a really scary time. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that footage, and I'm gonna talk to you guys some more after that footage plays, and you guys get to see like the in-between time of when I was trying to get my epidural. Oh my god, the epidural was horrible. They didn't get it in, and it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. They're gonna try again, but it was traumatic. I thought it was gonna be simple and just boom boom, but no. It hurt so bad. I'm trying to keep vlogging, but this is so scary. I said if they can't get it, I have to go natural, and I don't know, I can't do that. I'm scared. So yeah, that was my epidural experience. And then after that, the more experienced doctor came in, and he got it right in. I felt so blessed. I was like, thank the Lord, like he got it in. It was still hard, but he did it much quicker, and he got it in. Unfortunately, it only numbed my left side, because I laid back down and I'm like, I'm only feeling my left side go numb. And she was like, oh, that's not good. So they had to sit me back up again, and he had to adjust it. He took it out, put it right back in, and my whole body was going numb, and everything was fine. And so that was pretty much the scariest part of my labor and delivery experience, was the epidural. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you put yourself through that, you didn't necessarily have to do that. That was my birth plan, that's what I wanted, and that's what I got. And once it was all said and done, everything was fine. God had his hand over the situation, so I have nothing ill to say about either one of those doctors or that experience, really, except for it was scary. It was really scary, thinking that I might have to deviate from my original birth plan, and just thinking that I wouldn't be able to have an enjoyable birth experience the way that I envisioned it. Needless to say, after I got the epidural, I just rested. It set in, and I slept so peacefully. I slept from probably 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening all the way until midnight. And finally I woke up, and I was like, oh, it feels like it's starting to kind of wear off. We should call the nurse in. So I had Chris push the call button, because I was kind of like incapacitated at the moment. It numbed me all the way up to here. Like, I couldn't feel my boobs, I couldn't feel my stomach, I couldn't feel anything. Like, it was so strong. So I had him come and push the button for me. And the nurse came in, and she's like, how you feeling? You know, checking on me. And and she's like, has anyone come to check you? And I'm like, no, I just been sleeping, getting some rest. And she was like, okay, we're gonna check you. She left. She came back and she goes, you're 9 centimeters. It's time to push. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's actually time. And so at this point, it was April 27th. It was 12 something. I think Chris time stamped it for us, but it was time. It was officially time to give birth, to have this baby, to bring my beautiful daughter into the world.
All right. So it is April 27th, 12:01. This is it. She is officially, what they say, 9 centimeters dilated. We got the room set up. All they're waiting on is the person that's gonna help her get this baby out. And yeah, it's time.
I think last time I updated you guys, I was screaming about the epidural, but they ended up having to do it like 3 times. But the 3rd time they got it because my left side was not trying to numb. And when I got it numbed, I finally went to sleep for like 2 hours. I feel much better after sleeping. I have a freaking crick in my neck, so that's great. But Chris is massaging it. But yeah, this is it. She came in. I'm glad I called her. I pushed the nurse call button. She came in and she was like, have they checked you? And I was like, no. And so she checked me and she was like, you're 9 centimeters. And I was like, holy shit. And she was like, yeah, it's time. So I called my mom and let her know. So this is it, you guys. We're gonna have a baby.
We're gonna have a baby. Can't believe it.
Okay.
It's a long time coming. Should have been here 6 days ago. But hey, hey, she's gonna be here, and that's all that matters. She'll be healthy, and Chastity can get back to her life. So that's that's another plus.
Now I can get back to my life. My
See
life
you guys.
is so important.
See you guys in a bit.
Bye. So after this clip, we put the camera away and everything, and everyone started coming in. The nurses started setting up the baby warmer, and they started putting me in the stirrups, and we started getting ready to have this baby. And they go, Chris, husband, hold her leg. And he's holding my leg, and he was not prepared to see what he was about to see, but he saw it. And I think he was okay. I think it was an enjoyable experience for both of us to be able to see our baby being born. I pushed maybe 10 times. And she came flying out. And the first time I heard her cry, it was just like, oh, it's my baby. Like, oh my God, her little cry was so cute. They pulled her out, put her on top of me. Chris was able to clip her cord. And that was a really special moment for him. I'm sure he definitely remembers that. And he has it engraved in his mind for the rest of his life. They took her, put her on the scale, cleaned her up and did all that stuff, and brought her back for skin to skin, some more skin to skin. It was so surreal, so beautiful, so amazing. I'll definitely insert some pictures of right after she was born and just that whole experience, because we do have a few pictures from right in there. Because I told Chris, I'm like, get this, this is so important. And those are the photos that we shared on Facebook and Instagram with our family and friends after she was born with the official birth announcement. And it was just such a beautiful experience. I'm really glad that we were able to do this together, and that he was able to be there with me. And I'm really thankful for Chris. He's a great partner. He's a great dad. And it was awesome. It was absolutely just beyond what I could have imagined, beyond my wildest dreams. We feel so blessed. So right in between these 2 clips where the delivery would have been, they delivered the baby, and then right after that, they push everything out of my belly to make sure the placenta comes out, which I don't want no part of that. Some people do. I saw it and I just was like, ugh, like, just get it. I get it. It was nurturing and feeding my baby for the past 9 months, but like, I'll pass on the eating and the keeping and the making the pills and all that stuff. Not for me. Definitely for some people out there, it can be a special thing, but for me, I was just like, yeah, don't want that. They cleaned me up, got all this stuff out my belly, pushed to make sure the clots were coming out. I went to the bathroom. I don't remember if I showered in between there. I don't think I did. I think I just went to the bathroom. They made me walk over there, go to the bathroom, because I had a catheter in the entire delivery. They got us all cleaned up, got baby wrapped up, put in a little cart, and we were on our way to the postpartum wing. I was wheelchaired. Chris had to push the baby himself, which I'm sure he love doing that at 1:45 in the morning, almost 2-3 in the morning. But he put all our stuff on there, pushed the baby up, and we made it to our postpartum room, and that is when we started vlogging again. Hello everybody. It is, oh my god, it's an analog clock. Hold on, give me 1 second. It is almost 4 o'clock in the morning. We have a baby.
Say hello to Merridith Christine. Oh, look at her. This is adorable.
So they didn't let us film the delivery part, but I think it's better that we didn't, because then we didn't have to focus on filming. We just focused on being in the moment. I got this baby out. Chris was right there for everything, and I mean everything. So I'm just grateful for this whole experience. It was rough in some spots, but we got through it, and it's amazing. And now we have a baby daughter, a little tiny baby. She's over there snuggling with her daddy right now. He's obsessed, you guys. I haven't seen him look at anybody like that since me. He loves her. So cute. We're upstairs in the postpartum wing, and I'm freaking exhausted. Merridith is sleeping like she hasn't been chilling for 9 months. And I know Chris is exhausted. His eyes are looking tired, so we're all gonna get some rest. That is it. That is my labor and delivery vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like it was a really surreal and raw experience, and that we got some good tape, that we got some good footage that really encapsulated our emotions and our mental state and our physical state throughout the whole. We ended up staying in the hospital for 5 days. We got released on Friday, I believe. We were there Monday, we got released Friday, and it was just a whirlwind of an adventure. I'm so glad that I got to do it with Chris, and I wouldn't change anything. It was perfect. You know, the epidural thing, it was hard, but it was still perfect. It was still God's design for the way that I was supposed to deliver my daughter, and I couldn't be more grateful for just the entire experience, the blessing of having a baby girl. I'm just so grateful, and I feel so loved and so just peaceful. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with me. I hope you guys liked it and loved it as much as I did, and I will cherish this forever. And now I'm posting it so I can watch it whenever, wherever, and just live in that moment over and over again for years to come, as well as sharing it with my daughter and her future siblings, and we'll be able to share it with so many more people this way. And I just feel like it's an experience that I definitely want to share, you know, for more first-time moms, for family and friends, for anybody who really wants to see the raw experience of childbirth and what you go through at that time. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment down below, and let me know if you enjoyed the video and what you guys want to see next. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Until next time, adios, Chestovians. Love you.